Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to clean the needles on this new Keurig K-Express Essentials. This is sold exclusively at Walmart. This is a really nice Keurig machine. So if this Keurig machine is not working, you may think that internally it's broke, like you press a brew button and nothing happens and it doesn't make any sound. You can sometimes think, oh, it's something failed on the inside and it's just broke. It can be as simple as the needles are clogged. So Keurig machines typically they've got this lower needle and they got this lower needle basket and they got this upper needle. And you'll see, you get kind of coffee grounds and stuff on this upper needle and it needs cleaned every once in a while. So the first thing you should be doing on a regular basis is just do freshwater rinses. And we're going to be doing those after we clean the needles, but just leave the K-Cup needle basket open. Don't put any K-Cup in. Close the lid and do an 8-ounce brew of fresh water through there. That's going to help tremendously prevent this in the future. But let's say your needles are clogged. Be very careful. This can all be hot. We're going to unplug the machine. We'll turn it off and unplug the machine. And then this will be two parts. We're going to do the lower needle first and then the upper needle. So for the lower needle, again, be careful. The only needle is down in the basket. We're going to press up from the bottom. Now, if you see this little thing sticking out, it's not sharp. It's not going to poke you. It can be hot, but we're going to press up on that. So while you're pressing up on that, you're going to kind of work these tangs, kind of press the sides in a little bit, and the whole needle basket should come out. Again, this is not sharp. The only sharp part is down in there. Be very careful. But you got to kind of press the sides while you're pressing up on the bottom, and that gets it out. So here we have the needle basket. This is a good idea to take these apart. Even if your machine's working perfect, you'll be surprised. Even these little things can clog up where the coffee. So if your coffee is splattering to the side and not coming out in a nice steady stream, these need cleaned. So it's made to split apart right here. And I found the best way is to kind of just grab it. And it can be kind of tricky. You got to kind of turn and kind of break it. But it should come apart. There's these little tangs that hold it in these little grooves. So again, you'll be surprised how cruddy this can get. If you've never had this apart, this is going to look really bad. Get a brush, clean it in there really good. Clean these openings out. They should be nice and triangle, pie-shaped. And so you're going to need a paper clip, a standard paper clip metal. Don't get a plastic one or a plastic coated one. It can cause some other things. So we're going to go from the bottom. You can't go from the top. So this is the opening for the needle. You're just going to put the paper clip in. Now it won't go all the way through, because Keurig's, the needle's kind of angled at the top a little bit and you can't get it all the way through, but we can see that paper clip. Now, a really good thing to do is take this over to the sink, run water, and as you're running water, really clean it out. And you can direct water in there and you can see it coming out there and then go this way and you may have to go run water this way. Run a bunch of water and get that needle nice and cleaned out. You're not going to hurt anything. That's metal in there. So now we've got the bottom, and again, I would wash this out with soap and water with a brush while you got it apart. Now, we're going to put it back together. Again, it's got two of these ears, and there's two holes on each side. We're just going to find two, and then we're going to line them up, and it should kind of snap into place. Now, it won't turn, and you can't pull it apart. That's very important to get this back together properly. Now we're going to reinstall this needle basket. So I always tell people, have it so you can read the words. Caution, sharp needles are going to be facing you, and the needle is going to be facing the machine. And you'll notice that there's a tang at the top and two at the bottom, and those line up with what we have here. And there's kind of a big center one right here on this back side. So again, be careful of the top one, but you're just going to put the needle basket in, and I tell people line it. You shouldn't have to force it, and then just kind of press it down so it's nice and level, even, and kind of snaps into place. Now you want to practice closing the lid. Make sure you don't force it. This is kind of plasticky, so don't force this. It should close nice and easy. If it's misaligned or something, it won't close. So now we're going to do the top needle. So unfortunately with the top needle, we can't take it out. We've got to clean it in place. So get your paper clip. Now, we need to be very careful with this top needle. We're going to be poking this paper clip up into it. Now, there's a plastic hose on the other side of this needle that connects to it, and you can poke a hole in it, and then you've ruined your machine. So the first thing we're going to do is there's 3 openings in this needle. We're going to go side to side first. Now you may have to put a little bend on your thing so you can kind of get in there. Go side to side, side to side. There's one in the back. We're going to go from the back to this side. So there's from the back, and then we're going to go back to that side. Now, the important one is to go up into it. We got to go up into it, and we're going to go up into it through each one. So go up till it kind of stops, and then just kind of move it around a little bit, and then go into the other hole. Just kind of move it around. Don't force it at this point. You know, if you can kind of go in just a little farther, just don't force it. Go in the other hole. Some holes it goes in farther, some holes it doesn't go in very far at all. Now, you may have to repeat this process. So you may get some junk out, you may not, but at least we've kind of freed it up. Now we need to do a freshwater rinse. Plug your machine in, turn it on. Make sure there's no cake up in here. You've got to have this needle basket in here also. So let's close the lid. Have your container. You can do an 8, 10, or 6. I'm going to do an 8 brew. Now hopefully you start getting some water to come out, and it should come out in a nice steady stream. If it's coming off to the side, you need to re-clean that bottom needle. But again, let's say your machine still isn't working. You don't get anything coming out. We just need to repeat cleaning those needles again. And again, you'll be surprised just by doing this how much kind of stuff you get in these when you do these freshwater rinses. What we just did here is a freshwater rinse, and again, I would do those at least once a week. You know, anytime you thought of it, just do a freshwater rinse. It's going to really keep those needles clean. Okay, so pretend like it didn't work. Turn the machine off, unplug it again, and just re-clean the needles. Again, be careful. These can be hot. And you may have to do this 3 or 4 times. And it's mainly going to be this top one probably, because you can pretty much tell if the bottom one's clean or not. It's the top one that we just don't have any idea. You know, how far is it backed up into the machine? So just keep cleaning it, keep doing freshwater rinses. And when I was all done, I would do one more last freshwater rinse just to kind of make sure. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this helps save. Again, a Keurig you can think that it's bad, and it can just be a clogged needle. Because I think when they sense back pressure, the machine shuts down instantly. Like if there's any sort of back pressure on that needle, it's not going to let the pressure build up. It's just going to shut the machine down. So it makes people think that the machine is bad. But you do need to clean the needles once in a while. Thanks again for everybody watching. And if you could, please like and subscribe.